Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you
Welcome back and thank you for joining me. I'm back here with this story, which I know a lot of people have already heard others' commentary. And it's about Tyrese, and he married his black queen, which got a lot of people up in arms on social media. And then comes the rhetoric saying that black women are mad because he's married. They wanted him, which a lot of the excuses out there are not, valid. I think what really angered black women was the fact that he called her his black queen, because we know if we take her phenotype, and if a man looked like that and that was a black woman with a male who looked like her, had her hair texture, her phenotype, all her features, and her skin, there would have been an uproar about that. A lot of people have also been saying, nobody said anything about Serena Williams. Again, Serena Williams, she has dated both black and white, and I'm sure she wanted to be married before she had the children, and she has dated many black men who did not put a ring on her finger to give her that black family she wants. So she did go with someone who did step up to the plate and give her marriage before the baby. And she did not call her fiance her black king. So that totally blows that out of the water. But what made me notice it is a lot of people had a lot to say about what black women were saying, but the majority of what they were saying is true. It is very disrespectful, and it is disrespectful because no man would ever give a black woman, a moment's rest if she did the same thing if a man looked like this woman. And Tyrese was very disrespectful when he said that. He should have never said that. He was being very deceptive by saying she's Ecuadorian, Jamaican, and African American, which she may have that in her ancestry. Someone may be in her family tree, but you look at this woman, she does not have, Africoid phenotype. And he knows it, and I think it may have been a battle within himself, because I did hear that he was putting out a lot of, black love, black family type stuff, and it may be just a battle within himself that he's now married this woman who is not black. She doesn't even identify as black. But like I said, Jamaican and Ecuadorian, that does not mean that, they're black. That's not race. That I don't know why people will say that and say, that automatically makes someone black, when you can look at her pictures and you can tell that this is not a black woman at all. But this situation just opened up something that I had been thinking about for a while. And I think that it is very detrimental to women, especially black women, and what's going on. Because, for a black man, even in the entertainment industry and everywhere, he can be dark skinned, a black man, but dark-skinned black women do not get that same, admiration and respect. And now to try to redefine what a black woman is very disgusting, it's very disturbing, and it says something about the mentality of black men to actually move this bar to push black women with African or Africoid phenotype to the back, and then place biracial women and women who may have African ancestry, and also subscribing to the one drop rule, it seems, and trying to redefine what a black woman is. And that is very, very disrespectful. Like these are the first steps to trying to break the mold of an original black woman and then build it into something that is totally different and not black. And I did watch a YouTuber's video, and this woman, she seems pro-black. She does not like swirling between white people and black people, but yet she said this was okay, which was very strange to me, because your genes can still be diluted if you are engaging in relationships with other people. But she said that this is okay. And then she also tried to co-sign this thought of black women were mad because he got married, period. As if, they were going to go to Hollywood, get him, and marry him, which that is not true, and that's not the issue. It's the redefining of what a black woman is. This woman even said that, black people don't have the right to define what black is, which I felt was extremely disrespectful. I mean, we're supposed to be coming together and taking over and, building for ourselves, but we don't even get the right, as every other group does, to define what is black and what is not. And a lot of that comes from a certain place, which I'll do a video on that later. But I thought that blew my mind, and it was very disrespectful to black people. But there's a lot of people on here saying, but she's Jamaican and black, when is that not considered black? There's a lot of people who were saying, she's black. And what I noticed is a lot of black women were saying she is not black. And what was insulting is the black queen statement. And a lot of black men are saying, they're coming up with this, she is black and you are what your father is. But if you do take a look at her father looks white. But yet a bunch of black men are saying that she is black, which is interesting to me, because take Jesse Williams, for instance. There were a lot of black men who were saying he shouldn't be up there on stage talking about black issues because he is not black. but she is. I do know Drake is teased for being light skinned and or biracial. And it seems like a lot of biracial mixed men are not black, even though their father is black, and they try and say, you are what your father is. They will not accept their biracial mixed sons, but they will say the biracial mixed daughters or women are black, but the males are not. That's really strange, and it's very telling if you don't understand where that's coming from, which most people do. And I saw something that, it's just starting to become a thing. And it seems like, it's being pushed. A lot of, interracial relationships are being pushed in the media, which I still believe that for the most part, people date within their own race. But with black people, it's different, especially for black women, because we have been steadily hearing this about, them wanting other women. We see in the media when it's someone who's high profile or a celebrity, what do they always have on their arms? If you see an athlete, anything like that, is like an epidemic running around. And even in real life, I've seen it in real life, just me grocery shopping or going shopping just out for the day. I will see black men with these, white women, and then I see all these beautiful, darker black women walking around, gorgeous women, and they're with these white women who cannot hold a candle. And it's like, really? What's going on? And then, you can just be randomly strolling through social media or YouTube. And I saw this video, which, like I said, it just seems like it's going to be pushed more, and black women are now in this time being replaced by biracial, racially ambiguous women, and we're going by the one drop rule, and we're going backwards to something. And as you can see, she is definitely, biracial, very racially ambiguous. And this is the love interest in the song, actually. And that just further shows me that this is the time where it seems like, as there are a lot of successful black men within many genres, of entertainment, sports, and anything, doctors, lawyers, whatever. And they do get certain status and wealth. This is what happens. And it just leads to more things, which a lot of people, they do things for a certain reason. And like I said, it's no different than the Hebrew Israelites who say you are what your father is. We could go to the Bible and debunk that quickly, because if you are what your father is, and it doesn't matter who your mother is, all you have to do is look at Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael was born to a Egyptian woman, and if it just mattered who his father was, he could have been given the promise. He could have been, given the blessings. But that didn't happen. It went to Isaac. So that whole you are what your father is, that's just a another way of black men not wanting to be with their own women or women who look like them, particularly dark-skinned women. But now it's even, regular light-skinned black women. And you see they want someone who is racially ambiguous looking. Which I believe things like this, and also, things like this music video, this promotion of this, people are seeing this on a worldwide scale. And I don't think people go beyond their desires, which the desire is to sleep with these women and to make themselves feel better about going outside their race when they, may promote pro-black or black family, or they don't want black women to stop supporting them, or they want black women to support them, but they want to promote anything but black, and they want to bed, mate, marry anything but black. It opens up doors that goes beyond their penis, It stops at the penis, but for society, it opens other doors like this. With the promotion of racially ambiguous women and white women, you have white women being comfortable and bold enough to speak on black issues. I look through this person's videos, and it's basically about black topics, which black people speak about black topics, and there's a good possibility that black people will uphold this woman, and where they would fight and argue with other black people that may even say the same thing she does, they're going to nod and agree, and they're going to support her, I'm sure. They are bold enough and comfortable, because I've never seen this before, so they are bold and comfortable enough to do this. Not about caring. It's not about really talking about black issues, because if you did, one of these videos would talk about reparations. One of these videos would talk about, the killing of unarmed black men, and also the killing of black women. It would go way beyond the superficial that is talked about here. Which leads to things like this. Since you want to redefine what black is, you cannot get angry when other people jump on the bandwagon. You can't be mad that you pushed open this door and something that you didn't expect walked in. To say that woman, again, this woman is black, and then very close to, she definitely looks better, but just the skin tone. To speak about this woman, because this is an article about her changing her name to something that's more black, because she fancies herself as a transracial, kind of like, transsexuals. She calls herself a transracial. A lot of people would get up in arms about this. A lot of people were talking about this woman. A lot of people did not like it. She had braids in her hair. She said she feels as if she is black. Why can't she be? And I say the same thing. Why can't she be black? if she feels like she's black. I mean, there's no standard. You can't really tell, black people cannot define what is black. So if we cannot define what is black, anybody, including Rachel Dolezal, can come right in through the door. If we do not have the right to define what is black, then this girl here should be able to appropriate our culture. I mean, look at her, that's her regular picture there, but this is her now. She can just dye her hair dark, put on some tanner, make her skin dark. Why can't she walk through the door? What's wrong with her? What's wrong with this? Since we can't define what is black, and we just let anyone in and we're all inclusive. Which takes me to this, which I don't want to show because a lot of these pictures feature naked women, which I don't really want to show, but some of these pictures about the Moors and their affinity for white women. Like I said, history is repeating itself. There was this affinity, and in a lot of paintings that I did see of the women in the harem, there was a favorite, and this favorite is usually served by the black women, and she was a white woman. I cannot imagine how Moorish women felt like here. I mean, this is a perfect example of, I would say, how the women felt. Like, you have your men who have this desire for anything but you, that have this affinity for the furthest thing away from you. And I believe this look on her face is indicative of how black women were feeling at that time. To have to serve and entertain these women. But yet, what do we hear all the time? We just hear bed wench being slung around. We hear a black man saying, how could you? How could you? When there is a verse in the Bible that said, your daughters will not be held accountable for, what they do and messing with even the strange men and doing some of the things that they do, because it is a direct reaction to their men and what their men did. I mean, these are paintings, I just could not put myself in that position to see myself, a part of a great empire, have birthed these men, and then these men have me serving a white woman. That is the most disrespectful thing I could ever think of. Which leads me to the Bible. And it talks about, the strange women. Which, this is Proverbs 5:3-23. But I was looking at this verse here. Let me go to it. Here, verse 10. And it says, "Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labor be in the house of the stranger," which we can look at Tiger Woods. We can look at a lot of black men who basically they have, non-black women, and they have lost their wealth, or part of it, half of it. They work to make someone else rich, and usually it's the stranger of the women that they are with here, and this just speaks about that. I even went to a discussion about the Moors, and I saw this, which was I could hardly get through it, but it says, "The European women who belonged to the Moorish dominions and were within its jurisdiction were treated with the utmost courtesy and benevolence. True, they were highly sought out as they are today." And this is 2012 when this person wrote that. And it's unbelievable. It goes on to say, "For their unique softness and submissive nature. And for the record, they enjoyed the pleasure that so readily came along with their status. And as a result of these unions, we have the various shades and complexions of people throughout the world." I cannot say who this person is. I mean, there's no picture. It says the original people. I can only say that this is a black man. It sounds like something that a black man would say. It may be a black man or a white woman. Possibly. One of those two. And saying they are highly sought out even today. And then for their softness and submissive nature, even though we know during, slavery and Jim Crow, they were beating the hell out of women, killing, black women, and also having black men lynched and, tortured and killed. But they're soft and submissive and so docile. That, kind of made me sick. But it does speak to what is going on today, because what do you see being promoted in music videos? What are you seeing being promoted in black media? Whatever is attached to black, they are attached. They are the, love interest. They are the, movie star love interest. They are the wives. They are the girlfriends. And it's being, pushed and promoted. Even in songs, there was a song that, and my sister, she knows not to play this song. She likes rap music, but in this particular song, this fool was talking about, "I want a white girl with good credit." And I told her, do not ever around me. This situation is just another situation, the newest within 2017, to continue something that has been going on for a very long time. It's been going on before chattel slavery, and it's history repeating itself. And if you want to go back, you can go back to history and take a look at what happened, and you can guarantee you can follow that blueprint, and that's what's going to happen even now. And like I said, every time someone screams about black women doing something, they love to put black women up there, and scream bedwench and talk about these women. But everyone is hush hush and quiet. Everyone is making excuses, even at the utter disrespect of trying to redefine a black woman. That is a level of hate against your women that is worse than all of the rest of it before it. The calling names in rap songs, the denigration of black women. But to literally redefine what black is, and a black woman specifically. That is stabbing us in the back with a knife, twisting it, stabbing us again and twisting it again. That is so horrible. But I will leave it here. Let me know what you think about the situation. Do you think that, because she has African ancestry, that she can be considered as a black woman? Do you think it's disrespectful and this is black men trying to redefine what a black woman is to satisfy their lust for other women that are non-black? Drop a comment and I'll see you next time.